What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Topping the Server. This is my loadout review series for Battlefield 1. I'm going to showcase server or leaderboard topping gameplay, and I'm going to review the loadout that I used to get that gameplay, because if you can run a loadout and top the server, then it's probably pretty decent. Today I'm focusing on the Benet-Mercie Telescopic. This one probably comes as a bit of a shocker because nobody runs this gun. And personally, I think most telescopic variants for LMGs are pretty useless because LMGs aren't really useful at range in Battlefield 1. The damage drop is so great, and most of the LMGs just aren't accurate enough to be useful at range. It takes forever and ever to get a kill at range with most of the LMGs. You're actually better off kind of staying close to mid-range, just outside of SMG range. By the way, I think my new favorite gadget for the support class has to be the HE mortar. Ever since they nerfed the high explosive mortar a couple months back, it's kind of hard to get infantry kills, but man, getting a 3-piece from blowing up a land ship with a HE mortar is super satisfying. Now, in previous battlefields, the LMGs were more like crappy assault rifles with really big magazines. Now that there's no more assault rifles in Battlefield 1, the LMGs are actually more like crappy assault rifles with really small magazines. Only the Lewis gun and the MG15 have decently sized magazines. The Benet-Mercie only has a 30-round magazine, and the reload speed is not that fast. Really, the only reason I unlocked and ran this gun is because you need to get 50 kills with it to unlock the new DLC gun, the Chauchat. You also have to get 50 kills with the Lewis gun suppressive, and I gotta tell you, that was painful because that thing kicks like a mule unless you bipod up in a windowsill or something. And bipods really aren't my bag, and it's just a great way to get your head taken off by a sniper. I actually thought that the Benet-Mercie would be even more painful. I ended up running it on Suez Conquest, but the Benet-Mercie actually has a couple things going for it that actually make it kind of effective with a telescopic sight. Now, for starters, I always run the lowest amount of zoom on these telescopic sights. None of the support or medic guns are really useful at any kind of range. So for any marksman or telescopic variants, I always turn the zoom down to the minimum amount. I think it's 2 times. That's plenty of zoom for the gun's maximum range, and it makes you a little more effective in close quarters. Now, if you guys didn't know, all the LMGs in the game actually become more accurate the longer you hold the trigger down. The spread actually decreases over time, so the whole tap firing to kill people at range isn't always the best way to go with the LMGs. But the thing that still works the same is the recoil. Now, if you're kind of new to shooters, the most important factor in recoil is side-to-side recoil. Most good players can always counter vertical recoil. You just drag down the mouse or pull down on the analog stick as you shoot. Side-to-side recoil is a little tougher. It's random whether it's going to pull left or right. In the long run, side-to-side recoil balances itself out, especially since in Battlefield 1 you don't have guns that have different side-to-side recoil values. But at range, it really affects your accuracy. That's where the Benet-Mercie shines. It has the lowest side-to-side recoil of all the LMGs besides the Hewitt automatic. So there's no need for a bipod. You just hold down trigger, spray and spray and spray, and you can actually go toe-to-toe with medics and snipers at pretty long range. Add to that to the fact that the Benet-Mercie has the lowest rate of fire of all the LMGs, which really helps it out at range because you're going to feel a lot less recoil, but at the same time, if you get stuck in close quarters against an assault player, then you better really hope his aim's not on that day. Now, the one thing I'm really starting to appreciate about Battlefield 1 is that while the gun selection is sparser than Battlefield 4, each of the guns are really unique, and there's fewer of those guns that you know you'll never touch. Like in Battlefield 4, I still can't tell the difference between all those guns. I mean, I know the ACR and the Ace-23 are pretty good, but then there's like 50 other guns that I can't tell the difference between. I think this variety in weapon performance is best reflected in the support class. You have the Hewitt automatic, which is the most accurate support gun, but it only has a 26-round magazine. You have the Bar Storm as the highest rate of fire, pretty decent damage at range and accuracy. Probably the best support gun were it not for the fact that it only had a 20-round magazine. You have the Madsen, which is kind of like a poor man's Bar Storm, slightly lower rate of fire, slightly less accurate, but with a 31-round magazine. The MG15, which is pretty good, but not awesome at anything, but it has that huge magazine. Kind of what you expect out of an LMG. Now, since DICE did away with the universal weapons, i.e. you can't run a shotgun or a carbine on, say, the support or sniper class, it really affects how effective each class is at different ranges. A loadout system like this has its advantages and disadvantages when compared to, say, Call of Duty or even Star Wars Battlefront, where you can customize and micromanage your loadout, so you can have a long-range class that can heal or a close-range class with spot flares. I think that all in all, for most of the game modes, the support class is one of the most useful. Since there's no assault rifles or carbines in the game, the LMGs are pretty much a go-to for that close to mid-range. And that's the range that a lot of the objectives in the game kind of cater to. So if I'm going to lone wolf it because my teammates really aren't hopping on flags, I'll probably have to choose the support class. I guess that makes a lot of sense because you can resupply yourself and essentially keep going forever and ever and ever. It's kind of like what the assault class was before BF3 turned it into a hybrid between medic and god. If you're going to adopt that playstyle with this gun, then you're going to need a cap alive flag to score. And I guess blowing up land ships with your HE mortars helps too. This is not a gun that you're going to get kills with in droves. That's kind of what I end up doing in the gameplay. I actually got most flags capped for this round, but somehow my team ends up getting stomped anyway. We pretty much stalemated at D flag. That's the thing about Suez. The team that wins the stalemate pretty much wins the round. I think it also helped that a lot of the enemy team was running snipers and medics. Definitely have an advantage against their guns in that close to mid range with this weapon. With that kill, I finally unlocked the Chauchat automatic, and I'm probably never going to touch this gun again. I definitely prefer pretty much any other gun for the support class, aside from the Lewis gun. I don't know what it is exactly, but I feel like it takes forever to kill anything with that gun. I definitely prefer to be a little bit more aggressive with my support class. You're really not going to get much done sitting back with the support class with the snipers and medics. You're better off kind of sticking to cover, just staying in the trenches and pushing up with your assault players to the front lines. I usually drop ammo boxes in areas of good cover and choke points, places I know that people are going to run through. I definitely always look for vehicles to blow up with the HE mortars. And if I know I'm going to try to take a flag with only a couple teammates, for instance, I'm trying to backcap the enemy's gimme flag here, probably run something like the Bar Storm. Unfortunately, my teammates end up getting themselves killed here, and then a bunch of enemies rush me from the deployment area. It didn't quite work out, but that's the tale of the tape with this game, I guess. I thought the armored train might be able to bring it back, get something done for us, but that's never really the case. And just see me lose a head-on gunfight with a Mondragon Storm. That's really the tale of the tape with this gun. Not the best gun for lone wolfing onto the enemy's gimme flag. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed that episode of Topping the Server. Thanks for watching guys, I'll catch you later.